My dad was a criminal lawyer in Miami in the 80s.
Really?
Yeah. He had brass-plated business cards.
No way.
Yeah. You could imagine what for.
He probably was in an interesting time.
Yeah.
In the 1980s in Miami.
His partner was a Colombian bail bondsman.
Really?
He shared office space. Not a partner, but shared office space with Colombian bail bondsman.
Wow.
Who had connections to the drugs that were coming in. And
today we have a fantastic probate lawyer here today, Lindsay Carton from Carton Legal. She runs an amazing law firm with a very unique billing practice where she only charges flat fees to her clients. She handles probate, she handles estates, she handles summary administrations, trusts, wills, durable power of attorneys, living wills, all the different things that you need. If you're a person who lives in Florida or wherever, you need to have these documents for your family, for estate planning, for yourself, to protect you and your loved ones. Definitely reach out to her. Definitely watch this video. You're going to hear a lot about these different things, and you're also going to get some tips and strategies for if you're a law student, you're going to law school, and you're about to take the bar. We got some great stuff. Make sure you watch. 3, 2, 1, let's go! Tell me just a little bit about your law firm and some of the types of law that you practice.
Oh, so my law firm is called Carton Legal, and it's a estate planning firm. There's 2 sets. There's the voiding probate part of the law firm, which it deals with wills and trusts and estates, and it's flat fee. So there's a flat fee for a will, and perhaps ladybird deed, which we can discuss what that is, and then for individual and joint trusts. And the flat fee includes everything you would need for a full estate planning package, which would be a power of attorney, living will, healthcare surrogate, deed transfer, things like that.
Yeah, and for people who haven't been through probate, it could be very, very expensive. I mean, probate lawyers charge a ton. If you have to, go to court and process a will through probate with letters of administration and the petition and noticing creditors and doing the whole thing, a lot of lawyers charge like an hourly rate, and it just can build and build and build, especially if it's a little bit more complex. But you came up with a model that I think is going to be a phenomenal business model, and it sounds like it's been working for you.
Yeah.
Is the flat fee. How did you come up with that idea?
I ultimately came up with it because I did IVF for my 3rd child. I was in my 40s when I married my 2nd husband, who didn't have children, and we very much wanted to have a child, and we went through many, many rounds of IVF, which can be extremely expensive. I was on one of the Facebook forums for infertility, and one person was asking the group, how are you affording this? What are you doing? And, some people took out 0 interest for 14-month credit cards, things like that. But it kept coming up that there was this facility called CNY Fertility. And they have a business model where it's done in bulk, and they charge about, depending on what facility you're comparing it to, 1/4 to 1/5 of the price if you were to go to a regular IVF clinic. And their flat rate fee included all the medications, facility fees, diagnostics. And I just thought that was just an amazing thing to give something that's, usually unaffordable for so many people, the ability to have a child or do IVF when they normally wouldn't be able to, and all the expenses are there up front. And I just loved that business model.
And so then you decided to implement it in your law firm. And what's the name of your law firm?
Carton Legal.
Where are you guys located?
We're located in Boynton Beach, but I have offices in Fort Lauderdale, Delray Beach, Boynton Beach, Boca Raton.
Wow, so you're set up in a number of different places.
Yes, and a lot of my clients are older, and sometimes when we're having the signings, we have to come to them.
Yeah.
I'm a notary, and I come over, and they bring a witness, and we take care of it.
That's a fantastic thing that you offer, because I know in years past, I've had a number of cases where I've had clients in personal injury cases who needed a will, needed something done, and they, whether they're elderly or whether they're incapacitated, but to have a lawyer that's willing to go and visit and meet with them and sit down in their own home and kind of go over things and get them to fill out, the paperwork and get everything signed is a huge benefit. So you actually do like house calls, right?
Yeah, I do. It's necessary, and I'm happy to help them.
Yeah. So you talked about avoiding probate, like this idea of avoiding probate. Why is it like you would think like if you have a will and it's saying where everything's supposed to go, that it will be a good thing. So what is the reason why, I guess, lawyers who practice estate planning try to avoid probate or try to keep things away from probate?
Okay, so a will is not going to avoid probate. The purpose of a will is just basically going to give you your last wishes. For example, if you wanted to be cremated or buried, where you want to be buried. And then the will can tell you where you want the property to go, your money to go, your real estate to go. But it then goes through probate.
Yeah.
Okay, so in order to avoid probate, there are multiple things you can do. The easiest, simplest way is probably to do a trust. Okay, so I would, in my trust package, create the trust. Okay, I'm going to also take the care of the deed, because we need to transfer the deed to your property from you individually, or you and your husband or wife as joint tenants, and by entirety, you're going to transfer your interest to the trust. Now, number one question I get about that is, am I going to lose my homestead? Yeah. No, you're not going to lose your homestead. Am I going to lose the rights to my property? No. You're still going to have your save your home cap. You're not going to lose your homestead as long as you're still living in the property. And basically, when everything is put into the trust, like all the bank accounts and stuff, it's as if you still own it, because you're the trustee and you're in charge. And I do revocable trusts for that reason, so you can make changes that you need, and you have control over all of your assets.
And just for because I know a little bit about it, not intricately, but when you have a revocable trust, does it avoid the probate? Because my understanding is, let's say all those assets are not in a trust, they go to probate, which is kind of like this fictitious thing where you say, okay, here are all the assets of the person that just passed away, and then it becomes subject to creditors' claims. So if there's like a unsecured credit card, or if there's some other creditor that's out there, they can make a claim against the estate.
Yes.
So if it's in a trust, does it avoid that, or does it still
creditors' claims?
Yeah, creditors' claims.
No.
Not
in Florida. So there's certain things in Florida that we have protections, whether it's in a trust or not. And that's going to be homestead. Like, you think of why O.J. Simpson moved down here after he got that big judgment against him. Homestead's a big one. Creditors aren't going to be able to take your home. If the creditor is going against you personally, any accounts that are joint, husband and wife, those are going to be protected. But no, it wouldn't protect against debts owed. That's one of the first things that's done. So once you have accounts and you put them into the trust, or they're payable upon death to the trust, once you die, the trust immediately becomes irrevocable.
Okay.
The trust is what it is. You're dead. Your wishes as laid out in that trust are the command.
Yes.
It's done. And then...
but some of those assets will be at least subject to the creditors in probate. Is that what you're saying when it comes to the irrevocable trust?
Yeah. Debts are paid. Yeah. Debts are paid off. Yeah.
What about, but you're not working on irrevocable trust at this point? Because I know that those are a little bit more, I guess they're more complex, but they may offer some creditor protection because they're no longer your assets.
Yes. So I can do revocable trusts, or irrevocable trusts are not more difficult. They're just not as beneficial to the client.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want to protect from a creditor, you can do an irrevocable trust. You can't be the beneficiary. You can't make any changes. You can't benefit.
Yeah.
So for example, if I were to do an irrevocable trust and put $1 million in my daughter's name, my daughter would be protected from any of my creditors. That trust would be protected from any of my creditors. Can my daughter go ahead and turn around and write me a check for my living expenses? No.
Yeah.
That's a no. You can get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. See, I mean, all this stuff is it has to be done right, and that's why you got to get a lawyer involved, because people should not be doing this on, Zoom Legal or some of these other platforms where they're just kind of going in and filling the form out. I always say you can sit down with a lawyer like you to go over this stuff and make sure that it's done correctly and that it has all the correct protections to the extent the law allows.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
And so with, I guess, the irrevocable trust or the wills, like what is it that you charge? I mean, because I was looking at your website, I saw it looked like very, very fair prices. I mean, for what we're talking
I want
about.
it to be affordable. I want people, I know everything's expensive these days. Things are hard. I want it to be something that everybody can do. All the families, especially families with children.
Yeah.
It's $1,500 for an individual trust. And that's going to include the revocable trust.
Okay.
You're going to get a certification of trust, which is what you present to the banks or your 401k and say, I want it changed to this. Or in the case of a 401k, you would have it payable upon death to the trust. Okay.
Got it. Yes.
Yeah, because 401ks, anything like pensions, 401ks, IRAs, those can never be transferred to anybody until they have to be payable upon death. You have to die first, and then it gets transferred.
Yeah.
So you want those to be payable to the trust. And then you'll be able to have control from beyond the grave as to what's going to happen with your money. Also included is going to be your healthcare surrogate, your living will, what I call a pour-over will.
Yeah.
The pour-over will is going to deal more with if you have minor children, like who you want to be your guardian if both you and your spouse die at the same time.
Okay.
Your wishes for whether you want to be cremated, buried, and then it also pours over anything that's not in the trust that's, was somehow missed into the trust so that it avoids probate.
And what about a durable power of attorney? Is that also part of the package?
Yes.
Yeah.
Durable power of attorney.
Listen, unfortunately, I'm familiar with the process from my own personal experience, but I could tell you that having a durable power of attorney, it's critical. Anyone who doesn't have it they really need to get it. They should reach out to you and pay the flat rate and get this entire package, because I could tell from personal experience. I mean, if you don't have it, you can end up having to go to court to get a guardian, and that's very, very expensive. Mm-hmm. Then the guardian and the court has control over whoever it is, like a loved one that's either sick or ill or incapacitated. And durable power of attorney, the living will, the healthcare surrogate, those are like three things, and the regular will, and obviously the trust. I mean, it's a set of tools that every single person should have in their playbook, or just that they have at home for themselves and for their loved ones. Yeah,
just to give an idea, I mean, if something happens, say something happens to me tomorrow, I mean, if I got in a car accident and I have some sort of brain damage or whatnot, if you're physically or mentally incapacitated, you need someone to be able to access your bank accounts and write the checks and pay your mortgage.
Yeah.
You need somebody also who's going to be your healthcare surrogate. You need somebody who's going to be able to say, do this treatment, do that treatment. Let me see the records. Let me be involved. And unfortunately, if you have the courts involved, I mean, the courts have to have 2 doctors state that you're mentally incapacitated. If it gets to that point, if it's something like dementia or Alzheimer's, which, who wants to wait that long? Who wants to pay 2 doctors?
Yeah.
So yeah, you definitely also want to choose somebody that you very much trust, literally with your life, with everything.
Yeah.
So usually people are going to choose their spouse or an adult child. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, without that durable power of attorney, you're incapacitated. Your bills can't get paid. I mean, maybe credit card bills will kind of just like maybe flow, but if there's other stuff, if there's other insurance policies that you need to pay, if there's, like you said, your mortgage, any of this stuff.
If you own a business, you're a solo practitioner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good.
And so the durable power of attorney, my understanding is that appoints someone to kind of act as if they were you to manage your affairs.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I hate the term power of attorney because it makes you think that you're an attorney.
Like a lawyer, yeah.
Like now you're an attorney. But no, you can now, have access to bank accounts, sign legal documents, request bank account records, things like that.
Yeah, but like you said, it's critical that you have the right person that's going to be managing those affairs, because you don't want to get the wrong person because they could do damage.
That's the main question I get. A lot of people sort of like ponder on that and take a while to decide
who it's going to be.
Yeah.
Wow. But usually spouse or adult child that's
Yes.
trusted.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what about the living will? I mean, tell me about that, because I know that's another very, very important thing to have.
Okay.
And it's scary and people don't want to think about it, but it's important.
Yeah. It's like I tell people, just rip the Band-Aid off and then it's over. You never have to think about it again.
Yeah.
All of this stuff, because nobody wants to think about the legal guardian of minor children if something happens to you and your spouse. It's horrific. But once you do it, it's done, and then you can have peace of mind. As the living will is going to be if you're basically at the end of your life, you're mentally incapacitated, but to the point where you're brain dead. Mm-hmm. You're in a vegetative state, or you have end stage of your life, like terminal cancer, where a physician's saying you're going to die. You're going to die. So there's two things that it does. One is you can decide whether or not you want to be an organ or tissue donor. Mm-hmm. You can even be specific as to what organs or tissue you want to donate. Obviously, if you're like 80 plus, it's going to be a non-issue.
Sure.
Nobody wants your organs.
Yeah.
But you're also going to state whether or not you want to be on artificial life support, either through ventilation or feeding tubes, or you want the maximum amount of pain relief possible, and even if it hastens your death. Because at that point, you're either a vegetable, so you're already brain dead, you're essentially dead, or you're at the end stage of your life, and you are going to die very soon.
Yeah. Or if there's like no reasonable likelihood of recovery. I think there's, but people got to think about it, because if it's not there, the hospital may end up putting you into hook you up to tubes, and you'll just sit there forever, and they'll be, trying to fix this, then fix this and fix this. And it's almost like torture for someone to go through it.
And a lot of times they'll look for the spouse or next of kin to decide, and perhaps, their wishes, they don't know what you want. Yeah.
And then maybe they end up choosing to keep you, in that state, which is torture.
And then, or they don't, and they feel guilty. Either way, it's terrible for them.
Yeah, that's rough. So tell me a little bit about where you went to law school and your career path to, opening your law firm, Carton Legal.
Yeah, so I went to Nova Southeastern.
Okay, we're both alumni.
Yeah, I was there from 2003 to 2006. Graduated, I immediately started doing PIP, personal injury protection work.
Okay.
So my whole career, I did 1 year defense, coming out, learned the ropes, decided I wanted to do plaintiff work. And then until August of this year, I was doing plaintiff work, all first party work. So if you're not an attorney, first party work is basically people who sue their own insurance company. So when people ask me what I would do, what I did for a living, I'd be like, I sue insurance companies. Yeah. It became less fun when there was a law change. We had a law in the state for over 100 years where if you sued your own insurance company and you recovered $1 or more, the insurance company had to pay your attorney's fees. It was a way to level the playing field. Yep. Because they knew these insurance companies had plenty of money to hire excellent attorneys, and a lot of these, people don't. Again, it comes back to like the affordability, the ability to hire legal help. Yep. And I was able to represent people, and they did not pay me $1. They paid me nothing.
It all came from the insurance company.
100%. Yeah. And unfortunately, a few years ago, that law that had been in place for over 100 years was repealed under the current administration.
Yeah. Listen, I've talked about it on this podcast a bunch of times, is that this there was this major tort reform and property damage reform that went through just a few years ago, and it completely took away, and people didn't realize as it's happening, but it happened, and now it's the current state of affairs, is that you have all these people that now can get wind damage, hurricane damage, their properties damaged, and the insurance company can say, we're denying it, we're not paying it, and that person's now going to have to pay the legal fees, and usually it's going to now have to be out of the recovery, as opposed to having the insurance company pay to fix your property and then pay your lawyers. Now it's the amount that they pay. Let's say it costs $100,000 to fix your roof. You're going to be paying a portion of that to the lawyer, and now you don't have enough to fix your roof.
Yeah.
Right? And people didn't see it happening.
And then on top of that, if it's a hurricane, you're going to have a huge deductible.
Yeah.
Even a non-hurricane claim, like a water damage claim or non-big storm claim, the deductibles are between $500 and $2,500, and a lot of them are $2,500.
Mine was this is funny because it's sad, and this was before the tort reform went through, but one of the hurricanes came through, and I remember I had over $25,000 in damage, and mine I think was like a percentage of the value of something. I forget what it was, but we submitted our claim. I did it on my own at that point, and they paid the claim, except like my deductible was like $23,000. So I remember I had $25,000, $26,000 in damage, and I got a check for $2,000. I was like, what am I going to do with this? I got to build my fence. I got to put trees back in,
Yeah.
It was a disaster. So those policies aren't really great for people, especially if you don't have a good lawyer fighting for you, or you have one of these fancy policies. Like the regular policies had terrible deductibles.
The deductibles for hurricanes have always been high.
Yeah.
They are high.
Yeah.
And then you couple that with, a lawyer taking a percentage, and you don't have the happiest of clients.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
it's different in personal injury where you're kind of recovering an amount that is going to make the person whole, but there's also an understanding that it's not like a one bill for like a roof that needs to be repaired. You know what I mean? It's a lot of the non-economic damages help with covering the legal fees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people wanted pain and suffering.
Yeah.
And
right?
you can't
get that. You can't get that in property damage.
No. And they deserved it. I mean, these poor people would be like, yeah, it was hard.
So you practiced for, like 15, 16 years, something like that, right?
18 and a half.
18 and a half years, yes. You're at 18 and a half right now.
Now I'm at 19.
19, yeah, because I'm 18 and a half or whatever it is.
October will be 20 years.
Yep, October will be 19 for me because I'm 2007.
Yeah.
So you were practicing for 18 and a half years, and these laws went into effect. They kind of really messed up, from what I understand, property damage claims and really hurt a lot of people. So a lot of lawyers actually started to pivot a little bit, and you decided to be an entrepreneur and start your own business with all your legal knowledge. And you came up with Carton Legal.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a lot of things like with the universe pushing me to go out on my own at the same time.
And what was it about estate planning like that drew you towards helping people? Because it sounds like you've always helped people in your career, like just normal, ordinary people, homeowners. And now you shifted to helping people with their estate plans.
Honestly, like I told you before when we were talking earlier, I was getting a lot of advertisements from Instagram and Facebook talking about estate planning firms and opening estate planning firms. Sometimes these algorithms just like know you and what you want before you actually do. And, I got invited to like these different seminars on estate planning firms and opening estate planning firms. And at the end, of course, they want you to spend tens of thousands of dollars to join whatever. I didn't do that.
Got it.
But I did learn about it. And I thought, that's an interesting area. And I just sort of dove into it, started reading, Florida Statute 733, which is dealing specifically with, probate process, the Florida probate rules, taking CLEs on trusts. And then I ended up buying legal software that dealt with like trusts and things like that. Edited them, did my own formula, my own little changes.
Sure.
And just realized that this is something I wanted to do. I really liked helping people. I really liked dealing with like just like average good people who want to protect their family.
Sure.
Care about their family, want to take care of them. it was nice.
So it was like the algorithm almost knew what you would be passionate about.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm serious.
No. It's awesome.
It's crazy.
It is. No, it's unbelievable because
Yeah.
it really does kind of know you. You know what I mean? They follow you. They see what you're liking, what you're clicking, and I think it's like on another level.
Yeah.
So you opened up your law firm, and tell me a little bit about like your marketing. So a lot of lawyers watch the podcast and stuff, and we kind of do like some like business tips and stuff. But how did you like? What was like your main few ways of marketing or growing, getting clients?
So I started doing Google ads.
Okay.
Which is extremely expensive.
It is.
It was basically breaking even, but I figured if I did Google ads, that would at least get me clients, and the clients would then start referring because I'm going to do a good job. They have my cell phone.
Yeah.
I'm OCD. So like I'm literally the person who's like, have you decided yet about, you know what I mean? You're not going to be knocking me down saying, where's my will? Where's my trust? I'm the one like saying, have you made a decision yet on who you want to give your home to?
Got it.
So I knew that I would get referrals once that happened.
See, that's really, really smart. Yeah. You invested in the initial client base so that those clients would refer other clients.
Yeah. Yeah.
How long did you run the ads for?
2 months.
2 months.
2 months.
Did the plan work? I mean, did it work out?
It did.
Really?
It did. I just joined Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce.
Smart.
Doing your podcast.
You got the podcast. I'm telling you, what you got to do is go to like Century Village and start doing these seminars and stuff for people.
There's a group called the Elks Club.
Heard of them.
Yeah. So there's a few members in the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce, and they want me to come and speak.
That's great.
And it's also, to be honest, I always was sort of, when it came to like property damage or bodily injury marketing myself, I was always a little bit almost uncomfortable doing it.
Okay.
Just because of my personal disposition. I feel like people want the aggressive bulldog.
Yeah.
And I just don't come off that way. I can be,
yeah.
to be honest with you, but I do come off kind of like a little bit more sweet and timid and like
laid back.
Yeah. If you want like this like nasty attorney who's gonna like, rip your head off and a lot of people want that. I was a little bit like, they're probably not gonna like hiring me, but I would be the person I think you would want to hire for dealing with like you're grieving or you need your hand held while you're making these important life decisions,
I'll tell you, in at least because we keep like a track of like where cases come from, stuff, whether it's Google or whether it's a referral attorney or it's a current or former client that sent us a case, and almost universally like the best cases I see come from people that already know you. And so people like I think they underestimate like I think you picked it up early on with the idea of, okay, let me do some Google ads and show people how good I am and, build a good reputation with these people so they can tell other people and then they'll tell other people, which is a phenomenal way to grow, I think, a law firm and get clients instead of just doing all, maybe just all Google or, using like a lead generation company, because there's a lot of these estate things that I think are online are like, okay, he would set up this thing and then we're going to get you the leads. We're going to get you leads. And you spend a phenomenal amount of money on it and it doesn't, break even or doesn't even work out.
No. No.
That's what we see. That's what I see. I see like our referral network, lawyers that know us, they trust us. They are ready to send the most sensitive cases, because we have a good reputation, we have a good rapport, and then same with clients. Same with clients, current clients, former clients. Yeah. Have you set up? I'm just kind of diving into your business a little bit. Have you set up any type of like remarketing to the current and former clients, like an email list? Because if you haven't, I can give you a couple names of different tools, but just something to think of. Yeah, well, Constant Contact is a very good tool. Mm-hmm. I think we switched over. We were using something called Lawmatics. Mm-hmm. It had a nice CRM, I think, which is like sending out the emails and kind of staying in touch with people. Although it was wasn't super organized. It was like I had a hard time looking at it. And so we switched over to a couple different tools, but MailChimp actually has been phenomenal. Just setting up emails on an email list and like a drip campaign.
To be honest, my goal is for you to not have to be a repeat client.
Yeah. Well,
I want you to get it done, taken care of, and literally at like the will signings, I call them, or the trust signings, I call them closings. I don't know why. The closings, I keep saying that. I always do. My clients.
That's for the will signing. You call them closings.
Yeah, or trust. I call them the closings because it's like it reminds me of a home closing. It's like a million. And my clients always will say, "Give me some good business cards. I know this person. I know that person. I want it. I want them to hire you."
Yeah.
And I'm like, amazing. So I'd rather that be my referral than a previous client. It
seems that the estate lawyer, because they are so important, and especially a good one, like yourself. You say they're not a repeat client, but when you set up their documents, do you, in your experience, if there is someone that passes, the person who you set it up for, whatever, they're coming back to you to talk, right? And to figure out what are the next steps.
The family?
Yeah, the family. Someone, they should. I mean, your name's on it, right?
And yeah. I'm new, so that hasn't happened yet, but they can.
Yeah.
But hopefully I'll explain to them that everything right now is in the trust. The trust shows you exactly how it's to be divided. And the standard trust, you pay for the funeral expenses out of the trust.
Yeah.
You pay any debts owed, and then the remainder is divided how it's divided. There's gifts also inside it. And the property deeds I've already taken care of, so they're there.
And the property is now in a trust, which gets transferred to the either the child or whoever it is that they want it devised to.
Whoever the beneficiary is.
Is there and I might be going off track here, but is there like a tax benefit or anything like that, or like is there something where it's left to the child? Isn't there like sometimes the person doesn't have to pay the gain on the property. I forget how it's done, but
so with stamps, like doc stamps and stuff like that, those you don't have to pay because it's gifted.
Yeah.
But once it's deeded into the trust, you still have homestead.
Yep.
You'll still have your homestead exemption, and you'll still have Save Our Homes caps.
Got it.
Once that transfer happens, because of death, Save Our Homes caps is gone, which is going to happen no matter what. Homestead can be saved if you stay in the property. Homestead should still be there if you're going to live in the property. For a spouse,
right? Or maybe
no,
even a child,
anyone, your child.
Yeah,
a lot of the children will keep, or if they will move in, or if you sell the property, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm wondering what the I think maybe it's an irrevocable trust. I'm not sure, but I know that there are some mechanisms where you can avoid, like let's say mom and dad bought the house in 1980 and it was $200,000 back then, but now it's $1 million, right? When you inherit it and then you sell it. I know there's some complex things. I'm gonna have to research. I don't know if you look into that yet, but where like you want to avoid the gain, like being taxed on the gain. But maybe I don't even know what I'm thinking. Not sure.
Oh, I understand what you're talking about. Yeah. So
I think you get a step up. I think that's what it is at the time of death, you value the property at the time of death and you don't get taxed on that.
You mean if you sell it?
If you sell it.
Yeah. Okay. So estate tax, right now, estate tax is $15 million for an individual, $30 million for family.
Yeah.
Or married couple. I'm sorry, not
Got
family.
it.
There's no inheritance tax in Florida. So obviously the people who are hiring me we're the 15 million and under group,
Yes. Yeah. I understand.
So
they're not worried about that.
Yeah. No. We're not going to get estate tax. You are going to have to, the only thing really that you're going to worry about with taxes would be 401k, which I tell them too, like 401ks, because 401ks are not taxed, right? Ever.
Once they start coming out, I think they get taxed, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. you're going to get taxed at a pretty high tax rate for the 401k when you inherit it.
When you inherit it.
Yeah.
If you're in the
and there's nothing you can do about it.
If you're in the high bracket, or you have to be in that higher bracket though.
Yeah.
Like if you're a lower income earner, it's going to be taxed at your normal income rate.
Correct.
I'm just thinking about that because a lot of times 401ks will have like a beneficiary listed, right? On the, for your 401k. So is the beneficiary, when you prepare these the trust, do you have the 401k go to the trust?
I prefer that.
You prefer it?
Yeah. Because I like it. I like everything to either be payable upon death to the trust or transferred to the trust.
Got it.
Obviously, like we stated, like any retirement accounts, pensions, IRAs, 401ks, they have to be payable upon death to somebody. They can't be transferred to the trust outright. So it has to be payable on death to the trust. I like it. I just think it's cleaner.
Yeah.
And then you have this one, everything's in this trust.
Yep.
And then you have this one document and you can rule from the grave. I mean, you can state, honestly, you can do anything you want with your money. You can say, if my daughter marries this jerk, she's getting nothing. If my daughter divorces this jerk, she gets everything.
Who is generally and this is just for my own, I'm just trying to understand it. Who is the trustee?
The trustee is usually, so the settler is the person who's creating the trust.
Yep.
So, usually I would say, I would highly recommend the trustees, the person creating the trust, because the trustee's in charge, they rule. So most people, 99.9999%
will name themselves as trustee.
You're going to be the trustee.
But the only issue, I guess, I'm trying to learn this stuff, but if that person is trustee, there has to be a successor trustee upon death, right?
2.
So there's 2 successor trustees.
You don't have to do 2. You have to do 1.
Yep.
I like to name 2.
Okay.
Also, there's a section in there, and if you become mentally incapacitated, physically incapacitated, because what happens if you're the trustee and you have Alzheimer's?
Yeah.
And then there's like processes and procedures in the trust of how we go about that, how we get a successor trustee, backup trustee, and your relationship with them. And it all also is, this trustee, the power of attorney, the healthcare surrogate, you need to have somebody that you really trust.
Yeah.
Where
do you see, Carton Legal? It's growing. I know you have a number of different offices. You have this great flat fee model. Where do you see it in the next, 3 to 5 years? Do you want to bring in other lawyers? Tell me what you're picturing. Have you thought about it?
I have thought about it.
Yeah.
I would definitely bring in another lawyer. I probably wouldn't do more than 1 a year, and they would be very much under my wing for a long time.
Okay. Yeah.
And I would just very much make sure that they knew exactly, the processes and how I like things and how I want things to be done. I want things personalized. And I want clients to have my cell phone. I want them to text me. I want them to say, I thought of this. Can we make this change?
Yeah.
I want it to be personal, and then it's done. It's over. It's gone. We don't talk about it again.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, if you have a question and you want to know, how to do a certain thing, of course I'm there. But yeah, I would like it to be bigger. I actually also I have some contacts in Maryland.
Okay.
So I'm hoping to open up. I've applied to the Maryland bar. I took the bar.
You took the bar exam already? Mm-hmm. Wow.
And
okay.
I applied to the DC bar as well.
Very cool.
That one has reciprocity.
Oh, it does?
Yeah. And I'm just waiting on the character and fitness, which is taking a while, which is weird because I've never been arrested or anything.
I think they always take a while, and it's not like you have more years behind you than when you were graduating from law school, right?
Yeah.
Like the original time, like I couldn't imagine if I did a character and fitness. It's like legitimately 20 something years later since
Yeah.
I started law school, you know.
Yeah.
I just realized our 20th anniversary is going to be 2007. Yeah. I mean, I graduated. So
Mine's
yours
this
is
year.
this year.
Yeah.
Well, you have to come next month in March. We're going to be doing a welcome ceremony for Professor Duhart, who's now Dean Duhart. She was just appointed. And we're also going to be doing the courtroom naming for Eric S. Rosen Trial Advocacy Courtroom. So I had been doing a lot of support for the law center. So it's going to be a dual event. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I haven't announced it yet, but you got to be there.
That's impressive.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
impressed.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Yeah. So we're going to have a bunch of food. I want to invite like a ton of people, but I mean, just to honor the dean. And then, you know, I didn't want it to be like, originally it was supposed to be just a dedication for the courtroom. And I'm like, I can't do that. Like, I don't want to be the center of attention. It's like the dean, like, and Professor Duhart actually helped make it happen, get that courtroom named. So, so I owe her a ton, but that's gonna be super exciting. I think it's gonna be fun.
I'd
Big
love to
event.
come.
And it's your 20th anniversary. So maybe you got to invite some of your colleagues from law school.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
I have a feeling a ton of people that I know from back then are going to show up.
I'm sure.
They should, you know,
Yeah.
especially Professor Duhart. I mean, she was always just like one of those people that had like the door was open, you know, and like always welcomed. And my first year, she helped me out tremendously. So
That's nice.
how did you like Nova? Okay.
I
like,
loved it.
You loved it. If you were to give advice to like someone who's going into law school, right, would you recommend going to a school like Nova or FIU or, you know, St. Thomas? Tell me your thoughts.
You know what's funny? I got into FIU and I would have been the first graduating class.
Wow, really?
And my father's a lawyer, and he was like very anti me doing it just because they hadn't been ABA accredited yet.
Okay.
No, but I knew they're a publicly funded institution.
Yeah.
But my dad was just, you know, a little bit nervous about it. Nova was my first experience with a private school. I went through like public school my whole life, went to University of Florida undergrad, and it was just like this like tiny little, it's so tiny.
Yeah, it's
like,
a small place, yeah.
It was crazy. Like there was so much, I think but it was just like 200 kids in the class.
It wasn't a lot. Yeah, it was like 250. Yeah, 200, 250.
I loved that.
Yeah.
I loved it. I really did. I loved the class sizes. It just seemed like it's just very, very different than coming from University of Florida.
Yeah. I came from University of Arizona. It was very different.
Yeah.
But it was like, I think it was a place I was able to thrive a little bit more. It was like you were like it's just kind of all in that one place. They had a great library. It was very quiet. You could get studying done, and you know.
Yeah.
That's all I did. I screwed around in college.
Yeah.
I did. But when I got to law school, I put my blinders on and focused.
You don't have a choice that first year.
Yeah. First
year was a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What advice would you give a first-year law student if they're just starting out law school about that first year?
Oh God, are they female or male?
You make the call.
I would say don't date.
Okay.
Unless you're already like in a relationship.
Tell me why.
Don't get distracted.
Yeah.
Like no distractions. Like buckle down. Speak to the professors after class. Learn how the essays need to be formatted. Because I remember like the professors would like I was always more. It took me a while to pick up like the essay writing, like how they wanted them formatted and how they were. Like I would really like learn that because I knew the material, but that part would get me the lower grade.
Got it.
Thank God I learned it by the bar.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. Like honestly, I feel like I learned 99% of everything studying for the bar. Do you feel the same way?
I was like a strange student when it came to my like law school career. Like I had nowhere else to go at the time. And so I wanted to know everything, like everything I possibly could. And so I think I put in all the effort first, second year. Third year quieted down, I think, a bit, just like because you were doing internships and stuff. But it wasn't like I had to kind of restudy it. But I think by the time I was studying for the bar, I had really never I really built up to it. So I didn't learn it at the end. I just felt like pretty confident. I mean, they have some of this, you know, I felt pretty confident from just even starting with like criminal law and criminal procedure and evidence and stuff. Like I wanted to know it, and I would do the same thing. Like I would find whatever like prior year essays that were done by that particular professor, and I'd find those. I'd find like old versions of them, and then I would just use those to study and how was their format and what were the questions like, and they tended to be kind of similar. And as long as you were able to spot those issues.
I wouldn't have even thought to do that.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about boys.
that was it. So, okay, so don't date in your first year of law school. It's actually kind of smart because you can get distracted, and then also if there's like a breakup and stuff, it's like you don't want to be in a bad emotional state your first year of law school. You want to be locked in on your work and not distracted by other things. I could see that.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. Yeah, I think I did break that rule the first year of law school. So, but yes, I think it's definitely good advice is just focus on the work, and
and be prepared.
Be prepared. I was overly prepared.
I was not. I did not realize like everything is always. I'm not gonna academically things have always come very easily to me. Yeah, and I've never really. I mean, in college, I majored in political science because I liked the class. I would literally just like sit, listen to class, found it interesting, learning about it, took the test, moved on. Like I never really knew how to study, learn how to study.
It came easy to you.
Yeah. The LSAT, I took it. Like I just.
And you killed it or what? You did a good job?
I did enough. I did fine. I did good enough to, get into FIU, get into Nova.
I had to go through a special program at Nova. It was called Ample. I don't know. Do you remember the Ample program or not?
I've heard of it. I heard of people doing it. It's the summer program.
I had a 2.3 GPA and a 146 on the LSATs. And I took a year off. And then I applied to get into Nova early. And they put me into this Ample program. And it was like 200 students during that summer before law school is supposed to start. And you take 2 normal law school classes that are accelerated with the normal law school professors. And you had to I think you had to have an average of like a B+ or something like that. And they literally cut out, I think it was 70% of the people, only 30% of that group would compete and get in.
That's why you were the way you were.
I went in there and that summer, I didn't do anything but study. I would put headphones on and listen to tapes about negotiable instruments and criminal procedure when I was going to sleep. I had note cards next to my tape. I would drive around. I had CDs back then, in my car, just listening to that stuff because I had nowhere else to go. I was like, I need to get into law school.
Yeah. I thought
you had it naturally.
I thought it was gonna be natural when I went, and that was like that was like some cold water in the face.
Yeah,
I was like
shock. Yeah.
I was, it's a different animal.
See, that's good. That's really good advice for people that are coming out of college is they're used to it almost coming to them easy because the classes in college tend to be not super rigorous. They're not super hard. You're going to pass. You're going to do okay. As long as you show up and you do the work. But law school is a different animal. I mean, you got to you have to read, you have to brief, you have to know the issues that come up. You need to memorize those rules.
It's a lot of reading.
Yeah, it's a lot of reading.
I had to get glasses.
Oh,
and
really?
They called it law school. I swear to God, I'm not kidding. They called it law school myopathy. And they go, yeah, we call it law school myopathy because it's from reading so much. All the law students get it.
Really?
I was like, yeah.
Wait a minute. This is blowing my mind because my second year of law school, I was diagnosed with this rare eye disorder because my eye pressure was through the roof.
We were reading too much.
No way. She said it was like a congenital defect. I'm convinced. No. But now I'm questioning it. I'm questioning because I don't think I read so much. But no, seriously, my eyes, the pressure in my eyes, through the roof, and I had to get laser surgery and stuff and take eye drops every night still.
That's
I'm not kidding. 18 years, 19 years later, I'm still taking eye drops every night.
We're still reading.
And I'm still reading.
Yeah.
I don't read. I try not to read as much.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. And then, all right, what about taking the bar exam? Any advice for students that are taking the bar exam? So
I did the prep course.
Yep.
What I did was the Barbary prep course, which I learned. And then I got the practice test for the MPRE.
Yeah.
Do they still do that? The MPRE?
I'm sure. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think so.
And highly suggest this, actually. This is amazing. Is I would do the multiple choice questions, and I would look at all the answers, right? There's usually 2 you can knock out and then 2 that are questionable. And I would pick mine, and then I would go immediately to the back of the book and look at the answer, see if I got it right, see if I got it wrong, and they'd give an explanation of why each one was wrong and why this one was right. And I did that with every single practice question, immediately looked at it. I remember I was the first person to leave the bar exam.
Really?
And I remember getting up and leaving, and I remember people looking up at me, and like afterwards people were like, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm just passed. Like I was like, fine,
You were
I
done.
passed.
Well,
Like,
that's a method, I guess. That's a method that people should definitely look into.
You always go with your first answer too. That's
really?
the thing.
Yeah,
always, I learned you're supposed to always stay with your first answer.
Yeah,
Never go
don't
back
waver
and
and vacillate. Just go with your gut. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a scary exam, I'll tell you what.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I prepared, but I remember there's not much that could prepare you for walking into that room. It's so big, and there's so many people in there, and there's another person that was sitting like right next to me, and he was like tapping his pencil or something like that, and I almost lost my mind. Then you hear like across the way, you hear like someone like throwing up, or like freaking out. Like there's going to be weird stuff that happens. Like people break at the bar exam.
Yeah. That was a minute ago. That was a while ago.
No, it was a while ago. I remember a few things in particular. One thing I remember is I always studied with earplugs so that like I couldn't hear anything, and I was just like locked in. And the first day of the bar exam, I forgot my earplugs.
Okay.
And it was like, I think I actually started to have like a little bit of a panic attack, like my chest, like, and I was like, I could hear everything. How am I going to focus?
That was my first thought when you said earplugs, was that would give me anxiety. Like, what if you don't have the earplugs?
Yeah, I forgot them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I was able to get them by afternoon or if I had to wait to the next day.
You know what my biggest fear was?
Tell me.
Drinking coffee in the morning, and I would just waste too much time having to
Having to go to the bathroom. Yeah.
I bought caffeine pills.
Oh, really?
And I remember I took caffeine. I took an over-the-counter caffeine pill instead of having my normal coffee because I didn't want to not have caffeine.
Yeah.
And I didn't want the diuretic to waste time.
Yeah. Did it work?
Yeah. Perfect.
See, I would have probably tested that ahead of time just in case. Did you test it ahead of time or no?
Probably not.
Yeah. I think I relied on Excedrin actually a lot in law school. There was a period of time, I think it was like first year, where like I think I probably took too much Excedrin.
Yeah.
It was like, it's a combo. It's like the headache and caffeine.
Yeah.
I don't recommend that to anybody.
Yeah. I also, I don't recommend Adderall.
There was a lot of people that took Adderall.
That was huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
And I noticed, and you tell me what you noticed, but I remember the few people that did, like, they were burnt out. They were up too late. Like, they couldn't, like, I think the problem with Adderall is you can tend to focus on the wrong thing. You know what I mean? Like, it gives you great focus, but like I took it like one time when I was in college, and I remember like, oh, I'm going to take Adderall and I'm going to go to my class. And I remember like going to the lecture and then staring at the back of the chair, and like the hour went by and I'm like, oh, I'm like, it's over. Like I missed it because I was focused on the wrong thing.
If you need it, I think it's probably good.
Yeah.
But like, I'm like the opposite of ADD. Like, I'm just not.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, second year, there was this study group I was in, and all of them were doing Adderall. So I was like, let me try.
Uh-huh.
And I just remember doing the worst I'd ever done on an exam.
Yeah.
Like, it was just, like, if you don't need it, don't take it.
Yeah, if you don't need it. And again, I think it has diminishing, like a big diminishing return. It's like you're staying up super late, so you're not getting, like, quality sleep. And, like, sleep is where, like, you recover and your brain is able to reorganize and stuff. And then you show up, and it's like this cycle. But I knew plenty of people that were over Adderalled in law school. I mean, that's a lesson learned. Maybe there's new stuff like there was something called Focus Factor back then. It was like an herbal supplement. I think I might have taken a few of those. Now there's Alpha Brain by Joe Rogan.
Have you tried it?
Yeah, tried it a few times. I don't like it. I don't like it. It gets me too wired up,
I hate that feeling.
Yeah.
I hate it. Like even like a Sudafed.
Oh, forget it. That's not good.
And I have to sometimes because I have sinuses. I won't eat for like a week.
Yeah.
Like it's terrible.
Students shouldn't be taking any of that stuff.
Yeah. No.
Caffeine, coffee, and matcha.
Yeah.
I like matcha. It's a smooth caffeine.
Yeah. My daughter likes matcha. She always orders that. It's trendy.
Are they gonna go to law school eventually?
I don't know. We'll see.
And what type of law did your dad practice?
Oh, God. My dad was a criminal lawyer in Miami in the 80s.
Really?
Yeah. He had brass-plated business cards.
No way.
Yeah. You could imagine what for.
He probably was in an interesting time.
Yeah.
In the 1980s in Miami.
His partner was a Colombian bail bondsman.
Really?
He shared office space. Not a partner, but shared office space with Colombian bail bondsman.
Wow.
Who had connections to the drugs that were coming in. And then he also had like these business cards that were floating all around Miami.
And they were made out of?
They were like
brass, you said?
Brass, some sort of metal.
That's genius.
That you would
Why
use.
didn't I do that? I should be floating around brass personal injury cards. They can't be destroyed.
No, but these were to chop up drugs.
Okay. Now I get it.
So yeah.
That
when
took
they
me a second.
when they'd get busted,
yeah,
they would have his card.
That's good marketing.
Yeah.
I'm sure he has some good stories. We don't have to get into them.
He's got crazy stories.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, very cool. So, listen, it's been really fun having you on the podcast. We got some good clips about your practice. We got some good clips about some advice to law students. Don't date in the first year.
Yeah.
Focus.
Yeah.
And don't take Adderall.
No.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, listen, I really appreciate you coming down. How can people get in touch with you if they want to reach out and talk to you about estate planning, wills, trusts, the living will, the durable power of attorney? How do they reach you?
Easiest way is going to be cartonlegal.com. And you can schedule a free 15-minute consultation right online on there, or call me. My number's on there.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for coming. This has been a blast.
You're very welcome.
Awesome.
And also, did we discuss the probate?
I think we discussed probate, but we can talk about it. Let's talk about it a little bit more.
Did we? The petition.
No, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it
real quick.
Before we end, I want to hear about the simplified probate stuff that you're doing. Explain it.
Yes. So if you do die, or somebody you know dies intestate, which means no will, or they have a will and their estate's $75,000 or less, not including their home, so the home's not included, or they've been dead for more than 2 years, you can do a simplified petition for administration. And it's a quicker process. That's $1,500. That's a flat fee.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you have, you need to do a regular petition for administration, that's also a low flat fee as well.
And then once you do a regular petition for administration, does that will bring that person's probate from beginning to end?
Correct.
Got it.
Yeah, I would take care of it from beginning to end.
Yeah.
So that's going to be, especially if you have a will. And it's uncontested.
Yeah.
It's, you, your brother, your sister, parents are died.
Yeah.
And there's a will. You're going to need a lawyer to get through the probate. We do it. We honor your parents' wishes and go on it. If you want to contest a will, I'm not your girl. I don't want to do that.
Yeah. I'm sure you have people to refer to.
Yeah. I want to honor the deceased's wishes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's the best part about owning your own law firm.
Yeah. Is what? Picking and choosing the cases that you take. Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You've been doing this for some time now. There is no doubt you're going to start getting phone calls from people. I mean, that's life. You know what I mean? But it's important that people, when the time comes, that they reach out to their probate lawyer that help them draft those documents to help them get through the process.
Yeah.
Yeah.